Popping that back in there. Hi guys, how you doing? Great to see you. Great to see you. It's Sunday, it's 9 p.m. And it's time for another Way of the Exploding show. I'm very happy to be here. Got some great stuff to show you now that I've put the opening title sequence safely in its little cover there. Some great stuff to talk about, and of course an absolutely amazing quiz. Let me just check in. Prof Giles in the house. I saw Phil Hoy check in earlier. El Jefe, how you doing? And Psychic Janet over there on YouTube, are you? And hello if you're joining us on Instagram too. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Raymond Glenn Wright. Cornish Hugh Media. Great to see you too. Are you receiving me okay? Let me know, Cornish Hugh Media, if you got that response, because I know there's a bit of a delay on Instagram. So this show goes out to Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, X, and Facebook. Is that all of them? Simultaneously. It's simulcast. Good evening, Bruce93 and Rob H. Waving a hand into chat. Good to see you all. It was great this afternoon. I don't know if any of you noticed, but I did a tweet about my son, Res Hex, otherwise known as Jackson, and he was in the final of the European final Fortnite at DreamHack in Sweden. That was really exciting. It's the first time I've not been with him, so that was really cool, man. Really cool. And him and his awesome duo partner by the name of Moneymaker, they both came 11th. They came 11th. Isn't that amazing? What an incredible achievement. Good evening, iQuail. Craig, good to see you too. Most of you being picked up in my aggregated chat window, which is rather cool. And then over on Instagram, Psychic Janet has said hello. There's a big delay on YouTube, is there? And yes, Cornish Hugh Media. Met in a shop. My real name is is a human one. James Bro. Great to see you, James. Good to see you, man. Hey, how you doing, Galvin? I know you like it when I say hello, mate. I always look out for you popping up. Good to see you. Popping a bit of tea there. So sorry I couldn't make it last weekend. Bit of a family do, which was loads of fun. But obviously I would have done some kind of stream if I could have done, but I wasn't able to. But I know that you guys understand. Super Retro Video Games. I've seen you before. Lurking around in chat. Great to see you. Matt O'Leary. All good. And then over in the aggregated chat, very impressive, massive, proud dad moment. Expect Prof Giles, you are so right. I'm talking about Res Hex, my son, playing Fortnite, and at one point they were in 6th position and they went into the final match. And if they could have won that final match and got, I think it was 6 kills, they would have won the whole thing. That's what they needed to do, because the leaders were so far ahead. But that would have been the way that they could have secured victory. But they won some prize money, and you know, it's great, isn't it? And to feel that I've been to DreamHack myself with him twice in Sweden, and both times he did not make it into the final. And so for him to make it into the final is absolutely huge. So big shout out to Res Hex, shout out to James. JSC, otherwise known as JSC, comes in chat. He was doing all of his social media. They were streaming it live. It was so cool to watch, guys. I had a great afternoon watching it all. It's a bit like watching the FA Cup or something, you know. And it's like the FA Cup for gaming geeks. And Moneymaker, who's a really charismatic, funny YouTuber with several 100,000 followers on YouTube. That was my son's partner. And Rispy. Big shout out to Rispy, who's another content creator, young chap from Sweden, who put them up in fact his mom moved out so that the boys could all have an amazing weekend. So there you go. Yeah, Philip Hoy. It is really cool, isn't it, DreamHack? So that you know, guys, it's like many of the gaming expos that we have over here. Yeah, there's a little bit of retro going on when at the times that I've been, but not too much. And there's big game launches, and there's some great streamer booths, streamer zones. They're really good at like making these sort of no expense spared booths, you know, like 50 of them all sort of like in a circle, you know, incredible, with a lounge, content creators lounge, and there's people doing IRL, in real life, streaming on Twitch. It's a bit like TwitchCon. But at the centre of it, not the only game that's played at a competition pro level, but Fortnite is one of the main games there, so it's really cool. It's really good. Went years ago to play Vanilla WoW. God, yeah, I used to play Vanilla WoW, although we called it WoW then, didn't we? We didn't call it Vanilla WoW. They're only calling it that now, so that you can distinguish. They call it OG Fortnite in the same sense as well, because they've released a chapter of Fortnite recently that is the OG version. Interesting, and it's often because as they develop these mega titles, I think it's fair to say sometimes they lose their way, don't you think, guys? And that's why these vanilla versions, these OG versions of the classic titles, WoW, Fortnite, Counter-Strike, are released and become really, really popular all over again. So Instagram's already started freezing. So Janet's back. So has anyone got the new Spectrum, says Rob. Interesting you should say that, my friend, because we're starting today with an unboxing, folks. Oh yeah, we start with an unboxing. No idea how this is going to go, but I think you can probably guess based on what my main man just said exactly what's in here. Let me just try and sort something out here. Now I've got a very posh, very, very cool situation here, folks. I wanted to try and share chat in front of me so that I could look at all your chat comments while talking. Well, the truth is I haven't managed to do that. I could definitely share one source like Twitch or something, which I probably will in a minute. But, ladies and gentlemen, I have treated myself to an Elgato prompter. And it's there. Can you see it in front? You probably can't see it. It's in front of this camera. A 45-degree piece of glass and a small, I think it's only 720p screen, but really clear screen, which acts as a second monitor. And what I've done is I've got all the information about what we're going to unbox, so I can have a bit of an auto cue prompted session and impress you with my erudite, fluid knowledge of the thing, which actually there is nothing of the sort. I've got it all in front of me. How about that? I know Philip Hoy was interested. Woo, says Rob H. Right, let's get this started. Straight into the box. I will show you. I know you can't see it at the moment, but I'll do the difficult bit here so I don't stab myself. There we go. Biggest knife ever. Right, let's have a look. If you've just joined, welcome to Way of the Exploding Show. This show goes out every Sunday at 9 p.m. And I think it's fair to say that we've got the best chat on the internet. It goes out every Sunday and we look at all things to do with new retro. So that's anything which is from south of the noughties, so the 80s and 90s, or about those two epic decades. It could be a modern interpretation of a retro thing. We cover all that stuff, and then we end up, after the news section, we end up with a great quiz. So stay tuned for the quiz because it's absolutely brilliant. Last half an hour, it's awesome. Right, here we go, guys. Oh, it's looking nice. It's looking really seductive in there. Look, can you see that? Is that clear? If I get out of shot, I know it'll focus on it then. I'll move my mic to the right. Isn't that lovely? They've done a great job, haven't they? Done a great job. Let's try and drop that out. Try and drop that out. I've injured my forearm in the gym trying to get buff, and I've got like a claw hand, so this isn't great. Isn't easy to unboxing. Alright, okay, good. Right, so we're going to whack that down. Right, okay, now flip that back. Oh! I may have unseated the device in doing that, but that's not a problem. Right, there we go. Right, now, okay, look, there we go. How cool is this? So this is like the kind of content creators bundle that I'm very fortunate to have been sent. I met these guys at I'll turn the music down a bit. I met these guys at the launch of Rubber Keyed Wonder, the documentary about the ZX Speccy, that you know that I was very privileged to be in, but also privileged to host the after movie premiere events. So I was doing the Q&A and all that sort of stuff. And I met these guys, and they showed me the box. They didn't show me the actual The Spectrum, which is what this is. They showed me just the box, and it wasn't this super posh box, which looks like an old school CRT. Anyway, there we go. Pull, and I think I've kind of unseated the device, and I've kind of made it a little bit less dramatic than it probably would have been by virtue of opening it upside down. But that's not a problem. We're going to open it anyway. We're going to open it, folks. There we go. How about that? How about that? How good is that? Woo! Great packaging, indeed. Great packaging. Look at that. Oh, man, it's beautiful. Hey, should we do it? Should we do the do? Let's do the do. Okay, bit of ASMR. Look. Yeah. Oh, beautiful. Pop that down there. We'll grab the device, and we'll move this box. Hang on a second. Putting that knife down there. Okay, let's go. Let's do this. It's very heavy. There's lots of stuff in the box. I don't quite know what's in there. Just going to show you this beautiful piece of kind of holding art there, adorned with some of the most memorable gaming titles from our collective youth. Love that. We'll come back to this. We'll come back to that box. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, please gaze upon the splendidness of this absolutely beautiful modern interpretation of one of the, if not the most classic first generation computers of the early 80s. Look at it. On the back, it's got a serial number. So I am fortunate enough to have been given number 14. Isn't that incredible? It just says just there. I'm not sure what you can see in this light. I know it's focusing, but there's no actual light beyond my fingers there. So, there we go. There. Isn't this a thing of beauty? Interesting. Is that cooling or is that a speaker? We're going to find out. On the back, you can see, as I'm looking in reverse, what have we got? We've got a home button there, which is quite interesting. There's a home button. There's a bunch of USBs. There's a TV out. Isn't that interesting? And that, of course, is actually an HDMI, which I think is 720p, 50 or 60 hertz. And then there's a 5-volt DC. It's USB-C. That's how it's powered. I'm guessing you probably can't see those too well there. USB-C where my finger is, and HDMI. And then 4 USBs, so lots of connectivity. And I happen to have the original, the OG Spectrum in my hand on here. So I'm just going to try and not clank these together. It's going to be very interesting to see how similar they are. I mean, they're pretty much identical. Look, absolutely identical, really. My OG one in my left hand is obviously slightly sort of the black has grayed a small amount, and it's a little bit dusty, but actually there is hardly any there's no real difference, is there? Isn't that lovely? So there's the original look. You can see the light there is pretty good, isn't it there? See there's some denting on it where I've been a bit over enthusiastic. Whack that on there, and then this is the brand new one of the Spectrum. So let's go to our notes and we'll have a look. We'll whack it there so that you can see it. Should we try and whack it there? Because if I'm not careful, I might trigger. We'll leave it there. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll whack it just there. Okay, so here we go. The brand new Spectrum, this modernised classic, of course, emulates the ZX Spectrum 48K and 128K. Various models can be emulated, ensuring compatibility with a wide array of original software and games, with support for basic programming. So that's really cool, isn't it? You can actually recreate the experience of coding on the original machine. Now, I can't attest to that. I've not done it. I've not even played with it. You've just seen me unbox this thing for the first time, but I am told that you can do some basic programming in it, so that'll be quite interesting. It features an available micro drive in USB format. I'm not sure if you've seen this. It's literally this big. We'll have to check the box. There might be one in there. And it emulates the function of the original micro drive, which I think was connected by serial cable, wasn't it? And of course, it enables you to load and save games and do other stuff based on, kind of the input of code and data transfer. The Spectrum also includes an HDMI output delivering, as I said earlier, 720p at 50 or 60 hertz for modern displays. And just perfect clarity with your retro graphics. Additional ports include USB, of which there are 4, and there's also an audio jack apparently, which that's interesting. Is there really? That's not true. There isn't an audio jack. There is not an audio jack on there. Okay, the built-in save state feature allows you to pick up from where you left off. Yeah, I read about this in some of the previews. A major improvement, of course, over the original tape loading days. Plus, you can enjoy the tactile feel of an updated rubber keyboard. Now, I don't know to what extent it's updated or what kind of pressure pads, what actuators they've got in there. It feels very similar to the original. I mean, it feels identical to me. But of course, unlike us back in the day, you're not going to need to be constantly key bashing if you're playing, Daley Thompson or whatever, because you can plug in different controllers. So there's a range of controllers that are either available now or will be available. I'll go to chat in a minute. You can tell me how accurate this little script I've written is and whether these things I'm mentioning are already available. They might be. The Spectrum is the perfect blend of nostalgia and modernity, offering games of all ages a chance to experience the magic that was the ZX Spectrum, but in a brand new way. And you might be asking, how many games has it got? I'm aware I'm ignoring you a little bit, so I will come to chat in a minute. It comes with 48 built-in games. Isn't that incredible? Round of applause for that. The Spectrum comes with 48 games containing some of the most genre-defining ZX Spectrum titles there ever were. I'm going to give you a full rundown in a minute, but they include Manic Miner, Head Over Heels, Saboteur Remastered. I met the gentleman behind Saboteur the other day, actually, at that IMAX preview of the Rubber Keyed Wonder, interestingly enough. And that was quite an honour. The Hobbit, Army Moves, and The Great Escape. There's a classic mode. Now, this is interesting, which allows you to dive into the full ZX Spectrum experience. I'm hoping that there might be some form of manual in the box. I heard a rumour that was coming, because I remember when I bought my original ZX Spectrum, I mean, I'll be honest with you, this is an OG ZX Spectrum, but it's not my original Spectrum. When I bought mine, I remember the manual, and I remember trying to learn, the basics, if you'll forgive the pun, of basic coding. So apparently you can do that in classic mode, which is quite good. The save your progress function, which is quite good. I need to make sure I'm holding up the right one. Gives you 4 game slots per game. I don't know how that works. So you can return at any time. So that's quite interesting, isn't it? The idea of being able to finish, Manic Miner or whatever, with a save slot is such a great idea. There's also something called Rewind Mode, which allows you to rewind gameplay at any time by 40 seconds to help you get through even the most difficult levels. That's really cool, isn't it? And of course, you can load your own programs optionally with the cassette loading effects that you remember. How interesting is that? I noticed that some of you were saying in chat, I couldn't resist, that the USB stick, the micro drive mini thing, is a limited edition, so that's quite sexy. I know you can buy it, and it's actually very, very inexpensive, as in it's less than 10 quid. And you can also add something called ULA Plus colors, which give you a richer color palette. Now, does that mean richer than the original games? I don't know. Richer than the colors that this one could provide? Because I would say that the very limited color palette, as suggested by the signature rainbow stripe of the original Spectrum, is actually part of the joy of the system. What do you think? Tell me in chat. It also comes with the ability to surround your gameplay on your, swanky, I guess 16 by 9 widescreen, OLED or whatever, with attractive frames. Now that's interesting because, of course, many of the games were originally designed in a 4:3 format, weren't they, for cathode ray tube TV? So that's going to be an interesting thing to check out. There's loads of compatibility across all kinds of USB game controllers. So I'm guessing you could, get your kind of OG, your modern interpretation of a Nintendo controller and use it with this, or you could get whatever, modern quick shot style gamepad there is and start using it. Okay, so those 48 games, I'm going to give you the entire download of all the games right now, and then we're going to check out the rest of the stuff in the box, and then we'll go to chat. Okay, so let's get some more tunes on. Right, Alien Girl Skirmish Edition, Ant Attack, yes, Army Moves, Auf Wiedersehen, I think, Monty, Avalon, Boba Bearing, or was that Auf Wiedersehen? Was that Auf Wiedersehen Monty? I don't know. Avalon, Bobby Bearing, Cosmic Playback, Dev Will 2, Xelon, Fairlight, Firelord, Football Manager 2, that's marvellous. Freddy Hardest, The Great Escape, Head Over Heels, Highway Encounter, The Hobbit, Horace Goes Skiing, we love it. Jack the Nipper, Not in 3D, The Lords of Midnight, Manic Miner, Go Go Go, Match Day 2, Movie Nodes of Yesod, Movie, Nodes of Yesod, Penetrator, Fantis, Game Over 2, Phoenix, Pyrocurse, Quasatron, Robin of the Wood, Saboteur Remastered, love that, and School Days both get a huge round of applause. Adventure, Shovel, Snake Escape, Spellbound, Quake, Star Streak 2, El Stompo, Stonkers, TCQ, Target Renegade, Technician Ted, The Mega Mix, Tenbra, Trashman. The Way of the Exploding Fist, ladies and gentlemen, the very game that this here show is based on. Wheelie and Where Time Stood Still. Round of applause for the team behind this incredible thing, which comes in less than 90 quid, 89 quid, isn't it, I think, depending on where you get it from. Get in while it's still hot. And let's quickly update the review, or rather finish the review, by seeing what else we've got in here. I'm hoping there's some form of power brick or something like that. I'll tell you what, it's going to be hard for me to... Oh my God, look at this. Yes, we like this, folks. We love this. Something new to wear on the show. Oh, I love that. That's great. What a great t-shirt. Brilliant t-shirt. There we go. Get the mic out of the way. Isn't that cool? That's really cool, isn't it? And of course, because it comes care of Crash, there's like a kind of hookup with Crash. You get a micro edition. Well, actually, this is the full size, isn't it? You get a special edition of Crash, which is absolutely brilliant, and in which they're covering the Spectrum. That's rather lovely, isn't it? Oh yeah, this is the manual. So famous. It's almost as iconic as the computer itself, that manual, isn't it? Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, and in there, look, all the games are mentioned, all the different keys that you need to press to play the games. Look at the isometric gameplay there. That's interesting. What's that? What game is that then? Highway Encounter, is it? Or is it Aliens? No, hang on. Yeah, Highway Encounter, I think, which is an isometric format game. Rather lovely. USB-C, that's going to do power for us, and that's the HDMI cable. Marvellous stuff. And that is it. Yep, brilliant. Thank you so much. Love that. I think I got by without denting the box or smashing it or ripping the t-shirt or destroying the manual. I think we did that. Right, let's go over to the chat. And we'll find out what you guys think. I wondered why the mic was causing such an issue. I've now realised he did that whole thing with a bloody pop shield on. Is that the audio jack port I can see on the front? Would make sense. No. Hard to see in this light. No, I don't think. I think that audio jack thing was a bit of a misnomer. We deeply disapprove of people who stretch 4x3 games to 16:9. This is a preview special edition, so come with far more than the retail version. Yeah, the manual isn't included in the retail pack, and neither is the micro drive USB stick. I don't think it is included in mine either, unless, knowing me, it's in there and I've chucked it or something. I don't think it is. Let me have a look. Yeah, definitely not. No. Okay, so you can buy the manual on Amazon. It's also freely downloadable from the manufacturer. So Ponder, am I guessing, have you got one? I think you might have one. Let me know. KRP TV, Trista is absolutely fine. She has a job, and she's having certainly since last time I spoke to her, having an amazing time. She's really, really well. So thanks for your concern, but there is, to my knowledge, no need for any concern. Trista's doing fine. She's great. I spoke to her in, I spoke to her in connection with a retro gaming company. I'm just going to be, because I don't know whether she wants everyone to know where she's working. She's working at a great company. It's brilliant. And she's absolutely mega. So hopefully that's all right. What else have we got? Ponder. Okay, cool. So yes, you have the Spectrum, but it's a Christmas present. Are we talking about what you've bought for yourself? Is that the idea? Love it. Game controller will not work with Elite. We deeply disapprove. All right, I've read that already. All right, okay. So apparently Gareth reckons that because it's USB-C, that you might be able to do some kind of split and get some audio out of that. That's quite interesting. Yeah, so good. You power it with a 5-volt DC USB-C to plug. Which is quite good actually, because I've got a load of those. And also what I like about that is they're quite cheap to buy, quite long, aren't they? And so if you need to sit with it on the sofa or something, you know what I mean, you can get a nice long one, which is rather cool. Yeah, very lucky. I feel very, very, very lucky indeed. You've got so much in chat, it's difficult to actually retrospectively cover it. Jeffrey, how you doing, man? Not sure if you're still there, because I've just been focusing on the other aggregated chat. Nice to see you in chat. And yeah, you had one. Absolutely amazing. Yeah, so many of us did. Frank, say Lorraine, good to see you too. Steph Grant as well. Brilliant stuff. Yeah, I'm really happy. I thought that'd be really fun. I was going to... I could plug it in. I just don't know whether it's going to... the main thing is going to be powering it. That's the thing. I think, really... Don't worry. I'm very aware that we need to get stuff done. We've got our quiz coming up, but I don't know if I can... Just leaking. I'll see if it powers off. If it powers off the computer, then I've already set up the HDMI connection so I can actually get a little picture-in-picture in it. But it just depends whether it'll take power. Right, I guess we're about to find out. Let's do it. Whack that in there. Yeah, we've got a light. We've got a light, team. We've got a light. Okay, good. We'll whack that on there then. We'll grab the HDMI that came with it. And I've got a very snazzy... God, my floor is just covered in just stuff. It's covered in packaging and manuals and God knows what else. Not manuals, but pictures and all that sort of stuff. Oh, I love this. Love this. Look. I love it when they do that with HDMI cables. Add that to the floor detritus. Right, let's whack the HDMI into there. Not sure. It might be that the computer is not providing enough power to run it when we actually get the video out. There we go. Pull that through there. There we go. Whack it over there. Whack this over there. Right, it's in. Let's have a look. No, there's nothing coming out. I'm guessing you can still see me. As is so often the case with my stuff. You know, I've got all the gear, absolutely no clue how to work it. So what generally happens with me is, you know, I'll have an idea. I'll put it back to me. I'll have an idea on the Sunday afternoon. Oh, I know what I could do. I could take the output of the newly unboxed the Spectrum, and then I'll run out of time, you know, because I'm doing other stuff, and I hadn't got a chance to try it. It'll be something to do, I reckon. It might be to do with the amount of power, whether it's getting 5 volts DC out of the computer front USB port, or it could be down to the output. All right, the output. Let's go to the home key. Let's press that, see if that does anything. Yeah, see the output at 720. My little video switcher, which I can't show you because it's down there. The cable's not long enough. It might not handle 720p. You know, it might be something as simple as that, and I'd probably need to get a little box and upscale it or something like that. I don't know, but anyway, or it could be a hertz thing, because as I said earlier, it comes out, doesn't it, in 50 or 60 hertz. I don't know what the default is. I would have to curl up with a cup of cocoa and read the manual to know stuff at that level. We gave it a try. What a shame. That would have been fun, that, wouldn't it? There we go. See, I had it all ready, picture in picture. I was going to impress the heck out of you guys. Let's try that. Try this. Overlay switcher. You probably know what I'm doing right now. I'm doing that thing that I shouldn't do, especially when we've got a competition to do. Is I'm getting the geek thing, you know, where I'm like determined to crack this bad boy. I bet you've all been offering. I haven't looked in chat. I'm going to look. I bet you've all been offering me advice on what I should do. I know you have. Let me read. Yeah, we go. Try power cycling. It might not have picked up the HDMI when it was switched on unplugged. Okay. I'm power cycling. Welcome to the Way of the Exploding show, by the way, folks. You are very welcome. If you're new, this show is all about new retro. So anything from the 80s and 90s and noughties, early noughties, old or new, like this, the Spectrum, the brand new remaking of once and, let's say, still great UK first generation personal computer par excellence. I have one here. There you go. There's the comparison is extraordinary, isn't it? I've recycled it, my man. Yeah, still no good. I reckon it might be something simple, like if I'd thought about this, see what I mean? Like if I got organised, if I'd had a really good plug, it might just give it a little bit more power and it might work. Or it could be the 720 thing. Let me have a look. An HDCP issue, addicted to retro. Quick off on in case it doesn't detect. Yeah, that's Danker. Plug and play. Big smiles. No, whatever you do though, don't blame these guys, because I guarantee you when I get that inside and I whack it in my TV in the lounge, it's going to work. And I tell you why. It's because I'm going through a really sort of quite sophisticated setup. I've got this thing called an Atom X cast. It's like a screen with multiple HDMI inputs so that I can vision mix between them. All right, and there'll be something in the settings there that help it to accept a 720p. I'm guessing it's 720p input, as opposed to what it's expecting to get, which is, you know, 1080p. Anyway, not to worry. Not to worry, folks. Shame that. Okay, marvellous. Anyway, huge round of applause for the Spectrum. I'll unplug that now. I'll unplug it. There we go. Whack that down there. And we'll take that out. There we go. We'll take that out. Yeah. Yeah, it was plugged into the right one. Marvellous, marvellous, marvellous. We love it. Okay, what a great start to the show. And with that, I will ask you. In fact, what I'll do is I just want to try one more technical thing, which is I want to whack my chat on screen here. Right, I want you all to chat now. Big styles, all right? The more you chat, the more I can demonstrate how brilliant this brand new teleprompter thing is that I've got. Wow, it's blooming out awesome, actually. It's absolutely awesome. Bring that over there. Yo, okay, Funky Designs, the old switching off and on again. Yes, says Ponder, just pull the power plug out and plug it back in again. How's my favourite gadget guru, says SLG_footy. Fantastic, thank you. Better for seeing you, Sarah. Addicted to retro, I thought that was just due to copy protection media means. I don't think that was meant for me. No, I get certain devices need particular input, says Danka. Jays, says Sarah. Hello, this is us chatting, middle-aged gamer guy. How you doing, my man? Good to see you. Hello, says Addicted to Retro. Craig, UK 2017. Hello. Chat. Hi, Jace. Hi, back. Giles, Bruce, something. GSV Ethnics Gradient. Chatty McChatface. So that's very interesting. Your comment doesn't go with your rather formal and very serious sounding chat name, but nevertheless, it's great to have you with us. I've definitely never seen you before. I would remember you based on that name. So welcome to Wave the Explainer Show, and welcome to anyone else who's just joined. The reason that I'm blithering on right now is that I'm attempting to test out my brand new overlay. It's like a teleprompter, an auto cue. It enables me to see that Psychic Janet is looking at me and saying something. Oh, Tiny Devil Games. Oh, chat on teleprompter. That's fancy. It's very fancy, isn't it, my friend? Hey, great to chat with you, mate, this week. I was so excited by the stuff we talked about. I think we can roughly talk about it. I don't think we have to hide anything, do we? Because most of chat know that during all the social media that went out for Control AI Delete, the film that sponsors this here show, which we successfully funded on Kickstarter, thanks to all of you. Tiny Devil Games made a kind of couple of levels, working versions of what they feel Stardash, the fictional arcade machine at the centre of the movie, might look like in reality. We've now chatted, and we're going to develop this, aren't we, mate? We're developing something quite special, or you are. I mean, wow. So watch this space, team. Psychic Janet, again, chatting, saying something. Rob H, I got a next, so is it worth getting this Spectrum as well? I got an X2, my friend. It's weird because I can't see myself, and when I can see myself, I know that I'm holding it in the right position or not covering up things, or the mic's covering it. I love my Spectrum Next. I'd say they're very different products. For me, Next is very much a premium kind of uber geek product that offers a massive range of flexibility, quality, and functionality, right? Not least just the keyboard itself. Some of the really interesting kind of developer features. I don't know how it sort of racks up spec for spec. I'd have to go back to the original kind of spec sheet and, clue myself up a little bit. But I feel like it's a different offering. For me, the Spectrum comes in at a very reasonable price. It's got some really interesting quirks. In fact, I don't know how they did it for that price. It's incredible. And don't get me wrong, the build quality of this is absolutely excellent. It really does feel in weight, style, touch, identical to the original, which I'm holding in this hand. It feels absolutely identical. But at that price point, and with all those games coming with it, it really does give you, you know, a really tidy way of giving a loved one, a friend, or someone that you know might appreciate it, something really, really special to, you know, for Christmas morning. Are you coming over to Blue Sky, says Sarah. I know there's been a big exodus of people to Blue Sky, but I've seen it all before, Sarah, you know. I remember with Threads, you know, and X, for me, it just works for me. The retro gaming community is so strong, so passionate, so positive on X. That's the experience I get on X, as opposed to the experience that I know some people get, which is a negative one around kind of various political views and so on. I just don't seem to come across that. X has been nothing but good to me. So not at the moment, Sarah, but I did notice that you'd gone over there, and I hope you have an amazing time, and I hope you're welcomed there in the way that, let's be frank, X welcomed all of us in the very, very beginning, even though X has gone through new ownership, and from a political point of view isn't anymore everyone's cup of tea. I get it, but I'm very much a kind of live and let live kind of character. Politically, I'm as wet as a pair of pants newly pinned on a washing machine. I sit right in the middle, and I like to think that we can accommodate you know, most views on things that aren't too ridiculous, selfish, mean-spirited, or overly radical or extreme. And until that side of X starts impinging on my experience of it, which I'll be honest, it hasn't yet. Don't get me wrong, people say some dumb stuff on X. They say some offensive stuff. They say some stuff that I just can't imagine why you would think those things. But I don't really come into contact with it. So there's a very frank and honest response. Phil Hoy, love to one day see what you see. I want to see the setup now. Well, of course, you just ask. My friend, you can just ask, my bro, and I will show it to you. What I can't do is do it on video, though. You'll see the box behind it, actually. This is what it looks like. And you'll see in the mirror, I'll put my hand on it, actually, so you can see, get a better idea of it there. There. And then the clarity of it is just so clear. It's so clear. And all I did was just grabbed the thing. Now, I'm not going to be able to know if you can see this because I can't see myself. Does that make sense? Is it moving? Right, we're going to go like that. Is that working, guys? Tell me in chat, is that working? That's what it looks like. So hopefully that worked for you, bro. Hopefully that worked, Phil. Let me know in chat. I should be able to see you if you let me know. Oh, Tiny Devil Games responded saying that. Can you see that was the mirror looking at the Atari 2600, which is on the table, which you can't see, but the mirror can, because it's a mirror. It's a 45-degree mirror, so everything, chat and everything, is mirrored and then flipped back again, so I can actually read it. Well, Tiny Devil Games, keep me updated, my friend. I know it's all about bringing back the things we loved, and it's all about new connectivity, but I don't know. Prof, I love the fact that you don't know. I love that. I know what you mean. I have a similar thing about emulation, you know. Although it was emulation of arcade games and consoles and things that actually got me back into retro gaming. So, look, we're having so much fun. Although now I'm a bit orthodox about it, and I wouldn't ever play, you know, a Mega Drive game on anything but my Mega Drive. Oh, and I don't like the mini ones. That's not really my vibe. But look, if it expands the community, look, someone that buys something like that hasn't ever owned a Spectrum or one of these mini consoles, or, you know, whatever, Amigas or whatever they are, they're probably going to end up getting the proper OG hardware and getting into it proper. You know what I mean? So I think it's really, really good. Addicted to Retro, there's not secret what we're doing with Tiny Devil Games, but the two of us will probably need to have a chat about what we say when, but you will be the first to know. Last week, Super Game Shack in Leicester opened their Level 2 arcade cafe, a small range of classic cabinets including Golden Axe, Street Fighter 2 and Mortal Kombat. Thanks for that, Skewy Cat. I'm up in Lincoln at Christmas, so I might scoot over. It's only an hour down the road. Okay, Prof Charles, Blue Sky, really feels like the original Twitter. Oh, right, okay, interesting. Well, maybe I should give it a go, you guys. That's one of the good things about the Spectrum. It's got a working keyboard from the start, although it's still rubber keys. Yeah, but Bruce, we love the rubber keys. Put it on Discord. Will do, my friend. Will do. All right, I'm going to have to leave this conversation. I'm loving doing this conversation. Believe me, I'm absolutely loving it. I'm going to move you back over to this screen just because I've got my new widget with me. But we're going to have to do a competition. It's competition time, team. It's competition time. Let's do it. And look, we've all got lives, we've got family, so we're going to race through this one. Question number 1 in tonight's quiz, where you are required to just write the answer in chat and not embellish if you are sure of the answer, so that you give everyone else a chance to get it right or wrong. Here we go. Which synthesizer introduced in 1982 became a staple for bass lines in electronic music? Okay, it's a question about a piece of hardware, a synthesizer. Am I talking about the Roland SH-101? Am I talking about the Roland TB-303? Am I talking about the Korg Poly 61 or the Moog Source? Which of those could best be described as providing a staple for bass lines in electronic dance music? Pop it into the chat, and we, my friends, believe it or not, we are moving on. Now, don't get me wrong, this doesn't mean that in future we will race through the quiz. The quiz is like a sort of high quality chocolate. You know, you don't woof it down, all right? But given the option to either not have some chocolate or eat it quickly, we're going to eat it quickly tonight because we spent a lot of time on this bad boy, but I think it was deserved. Question number 2. Late 80s and 90s dance band 808 State are named after what kind of thing? The time JFK was shot, a drum machine, Sputnik's total orbits around the Earth, or IBM's first computer. Where does, I'm guessing, 808 come from? So that's question number 1. Question number 2. And question number 3 coming right at you in tonight's Way of the Exploding quiz. The lead singer of Public Image Limited formed them after leaving which other iconic band? The Clash, the Damned, the Sex Pistols, or the Buzzcocks? What do you think, folks? What do you think? Let's just see if I can put it onto the auto cue, but I can't because I won't be able to read the questions. Question number 3, well done. Right, we're moving on to question number 4. 80s. I'm living in the 80s. Oh, oh, oh. Purposely sung badly. Is that the lyric from a song by Killing Joke, Curiosity Killed the Cat, The Clash, or Devo? Devo, what a band. So here's the thing. My daughter was writing an essay this weekend for university, and it was all about, it included a large amount of kind of analysis of the Sex Pistols. How cool is that? It was super, super cool. And I was just chatting about it, and we were chatting about post-punk and what am I trying to say here? And let me just look at this. Anyway, I came across Devo, and it reminded me of how great Devo are. I just love Devo. Post-punk. Is it called new? Is it called? I can't remember the genre. New wave. There you go, folks. New wave. Yeah, I came across new wave. And listed in there were Devo, and I just love them. That kind of synthy anarchy that they brought to the post-punk scene. Awesome stuff. Question number 4. There we go. Question number 5. How did Sega bring full 3D polygonal games like Virtua Racer to the Mega Drive? What technology did they use to deliver that? Was it the Mega CD? Was it the Sega Virtual Processor? Was it down to the Sega 32X, or could it have been down to the Sega graphic board? All of them innovations, but which one of them was responsible for 3D polygonal games like Virtua Racer? That's question number 5 in this evening's quiz. Right. Question number 6. Which console first delivered Virtua Fighter to home gamers? Was it the Mega Drive? Was it Saturn? Was it the Mega CD? Or was it the Dreamcast? Which console first delivered the arcade delights of Virtua Fighter, another game in the Virtua stable, to home gamers? Well done to everyone. If you can keep track of your own scores. If you've just joined, you've tuned in to Way of the Exploding Show. I'm Jason Bradbury, and we're having a great time. It's Sunday. We go out every Sunday at 9 p.m. We multicast or, simulcast to YouTube, X, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitch, and we have the best chat ever. We cover all kinds of cool stuff every week. We've just been focusing on this amazing thing, the Spectrum, which is a brand new remake of the ZX Spectrum that comes, amongst other things, with 48 playable games, and they're proper titles. Absolutely wicked. But right now we're playing a quiz. You can join in, but you've kind of missed the first 6 questions. Question number 7. Which of these arcade games is not actually playable in Shenmue on the Dreamcast? Hang On, Space Harrier, Afterburner 2, Altered Beast. Altered Beast. Okay, question 7. Right, question number 8. Good luck. Which 1992 film featured a famous scene of characters discussing Madonna's Like a Virgin? Do you remember that scene from High Fidelity, Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, or Mallrats? Oh, that was another conversation I had with my 19-year-old this weekend. About films, like what films, what does the definitive 80s, 90s film catalogue look like? With, a couple of early noughties films in there, so 2000 to maybe 2005. Because I do feel that the retro time definition is somewhat fluid, and regrettably, we are getting older, and I'm starting to be a bit more accepting of things from the early noughties within the kind of retro sort of genre classification. Weird Science, Reservoir Dogs, High Fidelity. Yeah, Weird Science is an answer from Danka to my point to my daughter, I'm guessing. Yeah, Weird Science, yeah. Great. Brilliant stuff. Okay, that's question number 8 and question number 9 in tonight's Way of the Exploding Quiz. Who fronts a band on stage and has his on-film singing debut in High Fidelity from the year 2000? Is it John Cusack? Is it Jack Black? Is it Tim Robbins? Or do we see Johnny Depp on stage? Which of those actors feature star in High Fidelity and sing on stage during the film? Also concluding their first ever on-film musical performance. Okay, that's such a great question. I'm really pleased with that. Interesting watching the answers come in. If you're joining us on Instagram, hello. Fluffit Prince has just joined. Steph Grant, Jeffrey, how you doing? Still there, brother? Still there, brother? Rebel Base Build. Yeah, Rebel Base Build. I'm not sure if he's still there, but talking about the visual characteristics of playing the old games on the old kit. This is the original Specky on a CRT, and what the visual experience is like and how critical it is to the experience. I agree. Interestingly though, I seem to recall, although someone can tell me in chat if I'm wrong, that the Spectrum, this is the new version, which outputs in HDMI, does have some CRT emulation effects, which I'm guessing you can probably switch on and off, or it's certainly something I remember reading about in its early kind of the early announcements about it. Let me know in chat if that is a thing. Jeffrey, you're still here. Great to see you, man. Lovely to have you in chat alongside Rebel Base Build. Dr. Oculus, great to see you, man. Good evening, sir. Okay, so shooting back to the final question, which has a image, and what a simple image it is. Looks weird. It will all be explained in this question. Which early console or computer uses this official color? And that is an official color. It's one of several colors that, not too many, but several that belong to this console. I'll just say that. Is that the official color of a PlayStation, a Commodore 64, a Game Boy, or an NEC TurboGrafx 16? All right. It's difficult to get that because when you look at things through searches, obviously you start to realize that the photographer and their camera changes the hue and tone of the colors of all things, and so I had to look for the kind of hex code to get to make sure that I was giving you exactly the right tone. There we go. So that is, ladies and gentlemen, 10 questions delivered at rapid speed in order to, allow everyone to get back to their lives on a Sunday night. I'm hugely grateful and indebted to all of you for coming to the show each week. It means so much to me. I absolutely love it. It's so much fun, and I really don't want to, inconvenience you because of me getting carried away and talking about whatever gadget or news item we've got. So that's why we do that quickly. But next week we'll slow down a little bit and we'll get back into the normal pace of things. Okay, so GSV Ethics Gradient said, talking of the Spectrum, it does have optional scan lines. As always, they're horrible. JSC, how you doing, bro? James, I was just talking about you earlier, weren't we, chat? Big shout out to you, James. This is the young man who made all the streaming possible for my son from Sweden. Did a great job. Well done, bro. Good to see you at work, my man. Right, okay, so we'll get rid of that. We'll get rid of that. No, okay. That's all getting very confusing. Oh, okay, well, we may have revealed the answer, but it don't matter. You've already answered, so you're not allowed to change your answers. I trust you. It's like an honesty bar. It's an honesty quiz. Question number 1 tonight was, which synthesizer introduced in 1982 became a staple for bass lines in electronic dance music? Well, it was not the Roland SH-101, of which I have a lovely red example. It was also by Roland, the TB-303. That was the bass pumping mini synth that looked like a drum machine but really gave out bass. There we go. Talkshow muted. Good to see you. Everybody needs a 303. Indeed, Ponder. Well said. So 1 out of 1 for Tiny Devil Games and Ponder, and Addicted to Retro and Dankerboat and Philip get 0. 1 out of 1 for Quail. If you're new, you just put 1/1 if you've got 1 out of 1, or 0/1, and we carry on and we get a sense of who's doing what, and we have a bit of a race to the finish. Janet, 0 right now. I guess the B's for bass, yeah, must be. It was often paired with the next answer. You're not wrong there, Ponder. And the next question, and therefore the next answer, is late 80s and 90s dance band 808 State were named after what kind of thing? It was, of course, a drum machine. They were named after the Roland TR-808. I'm guessing R, if B stands for bass, R stands for rhythm. You reckon? What do we think? Yeah. So they were named after a drum machine, but I was quite proud of myself coming up with named after the time JFK was shot, or the amount of times that Sputnik went around the Earth. I just had an absolute ball with those. Okay, Sarah just dropped an interesting comment into chat. Why are pencils gullible? Because they're easily lead. Nice, well done, Sarah. Quality gags here on Way of the Exploding Show. 0 out of 2 for Rob. 1 out of 10 for Janet. 1 out of 2 for Skewy. I suppose it is out of 10, isn't it? I suppose it is out of 10. But we like to keep it to the question in hand because we get a sense of where we are. Phil Hoy, Danker, all on 1. 2 for GSV. 2 for Quail. Satless. Hello, Satless. And Tiny Devil Games. Ponder. All doing very, very well. Well done. Right, moving on. The lead singer of Public Image Limited formed the band after leaving the Sex Pistols. And you know now where I got it from, don't you? The conversations with my daughter this weekend, which was absolutely brilliant. It's great having a young person that you get to discuss popular culture with, you know, like games and TV shows and movies and music and that and fashion. So it's just a huge privilege. It's a huge privilege. Bruise, 3 out of 3. Prof, 2. 2 for Danker. Still on 1 for Phil out of 3. 2 out of 3 for Middle Age Gamer Guy. 3 out of 3 for Tiny Devil Games. Well done. And GSV doing very, very well, as indeed is Ponder. At 3, Janet, 2. Skewy Cat, 2. Pop it over to the Instagram. And what have we got? One out of 3 for Cornish. Hugh Media, you're still with us. Great to see you. 2 for Rebel Base Build. And have we got Jeffrey? Is he still there? I can't see his score. Right, that was how many? 3. Right, good. 80s. I'm living in the 80s. Oh. It was a song called 80s by Killing Joke is the answer. Difficult one, this. Not my initial choice for musical enjoyment in the 80s. I appreciate Killing Joke, as I appreciate a lot of bands from the 80s and 90s more now, because during the 80s I was pretty much exclusively synth pop, early dance, house, electro, dance music. I was a dancer. I wanted up-tempo beats. I did have a bit of a goth vibe going on at various stages. And I used to enjoy a bit of a goth night in Lincoln at Cinderella Rockefellers, my local nightclub. But no real knowledge of music. I didn't see any bands live in the 80s that I would say were more sort of alternative, other than dance acts that I saw a lot of. I saw the Sex Pistols live. That was a fact that impressed my daughter. I saw the Sex Pistols live. Hammersmith Odeon. Was it Shepherd's Bush Empire? I'm going to say Hammersmith Odeon. Okay, question number 5. How did Sega bring full 3D polygonal games like Virtua Racer to the Mega Drive? I'm very aware, by the way, that I just dropped that I saw the Sex Pistols live, which is bloody cool, isn't it? Isn't that an amazing thing to have done? Incredible. The answer is, of course, well, they made cartridges, and inside the cartridge was the SVP, which stood for Sega Virtual Processor, and it made the game. They were meant to do all the Virtua titles for the Mega Drive. It made the game just under £100. It was too expensive, so they ended up not doing that. So the answer is Sega Virtual Processor with any of the other Virtua titles, which leads us to our next question, which is which console first delivered Virtua Fighter, the next one in the series. It was, of course, the Saturn. It was the Saturn because they could do it on the Saturn using the Saturn's hardware. Yeah, they did. Rather than the cartridge containing a special SVP chip. So that's 2 answers there. So we're going to see what you've got out of 6. Sorry for jumping forward there. You'll understand what I did. Okay, Quail. It was also on the 32X. Don't tell me that. Okay, let's just say the initial release then. Let's say the initial release. All right? I'll have to double check that. But I'm standing with my question. In terms of it being the first release, it was all about the SVP. I remember, I was there, I'm sure you were too, and I remember the SVP being this thing and reading about it in like Edge magazine or something like that, whatever at the time was the kind of cutting edge mag. I remember them talking about it, feeling like it was an incredible thing to get this arcade game that I played at like the Trocadero or whatever into my home. So there we go. Much later, says John UK. So yeah, thanks for getting me out of that one, John UK. Fair point though, fair point. Oh, good. I'm glad you're liking the question, Satless. That's cool. So what have we got? Out of 6. 3 out of 6 for Addicted. 5 out of 6 for Tiny Devil Games. Ponder gets 4. Danker so far on 2. Prof Jars on 3. Rob H on 2. Phil Hoy on 2. Bruce 93. I'm not sure what you're on. 5 out of 6 for Skewy. 6 out of 6 for iQuail. John UK doing really, really well. What are you on, John? Philip Hoy? 2 out of 6. Lots of you getting into the debate. And so therefore I can't tell you what you've got out of 6. 4 out of 6 for Eds. How you doing, Eds? Great to see you, mate. 4 out of 5 for Rebel Builds. 5 out of 6 for Rebel Build. Good stuff. DCW Cleaning Services, lovely to see you. Lucy Yana, nice to see you too. Dave's Mint, 87. Great to have you on board. Question number 6. Question number 7. Here we go. Which of these arcade games is not actually playable in Shenmue on the Dreamcast? You can play Hang On, you can play Space Harrier, you can also play Afterburner 2, but you cannot play Altered Beast. You can't play Altered Beast. So there you go. That's the answer. Out of 7, please. 5 out of 6 at the moment for Bruce. Oh, good work there, mate. Good work. 5 out of 7 for Ponder, GSV, and Middle-Aged Gamer Guy. 6 for Bruce. 6 for Tiny Devil Games. Addicted gets 3. 7 out of 7 for Quail. God damn, that's impressive. I think we've had this track, haven't we? Phil Hoy, 3 out of 7. Danker, 3. 2 for Rob. 3 for Prof. 4 for Satless. And Skewy on 6 as we move to question number 8. Which 1992 film featured a famous scene where they talk about Madonna's Like a Virgin? They're in a diner, aren't they? It's not High Fidelity, Pulp Fiction, or Mallrats, so I would have thought Pulp Fiction would have been a popular choice. It was Reservoir Dogs. In my mind, Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction often blur, kind of merge into one. So you could be forgiven for making that mistake. 5 out of 8 for Satless. 5 for Ponder and GSV. 7 for Bruce. 3 for Addicted. 4 for John UK, Middle-Aged Gamer Guy. 5 Tiny Devil Games. 7. Wow. 8 for iQuail, impressive stuff. 3 for Danker, 2 for Rob, and 3 for Philip Hoy. Prof Jars on 3, going really, really well. 5 for Eds out of 8. Just waiting, hi Stephen Costa, for Rebel Base Build to update us. Didn't get there in time. I'm going to just move straight on. Question number 9. Who fronts a band on stage and has his on-screen singing debut? It's in High Fidelity. It is, of course, it's Jack Black. It's Jack Black. He does an old kind of crooners song. Not Frank Sinatra, but something like that, I think. Oh no, it's more like a kind of Sam Cooke track. I can't remember. But it's amazing, and he's incredible, and they're all really blown away by it. It's a really seminal moment. There's a film I should definitely put on the list for my 19-year-old of movies from the 80s, 90s, and early 90s. 2000, the year 2000, that she should definitely watch. High Fidelity, what a great movie with John Cusack. Love it, great stuff. 4 out of 9 for Philip Hoy. 9 out of 9 for Quail. Wow. 4 out of 9 for Danker. 5 for Satless. Devil Games 8. Bruise 8. GSV 6. Middle-Aged Gamer Guy 6. John UK 5. 6 for Ponder. 4 for Giles. Phil Hoy 4, Rob H 3, 8 for Skewy. And final question, I gave you this image, and of course I accidentally flashed up this, but after we'd asked the question, so it doesn't matter too much, so you know the answer. Which early console uses that official colour of grey? It is, of course, the PlayStation. But I popped that in there because I wanted to have a visual question, but also sometimes when you see things out of context, it can be more difficult. It can be more difficult. So well done. I'd like to now ask you to venture forth and tell me what you got out of 10. Eds and Rebel Base Build, I'll come back to you on Instagram so that I can get a sense of your score. So as soon as you can, if Jeffrey, if you're still there, or anyone else in Insta, let me know. Eds was on 6 out of 9, which is very respectable earlier. Not sure what Rebel Base Build was on, but right now I can tell you that Addicted got awful out of 10. That is Addicted's own words. 9 out of 10 for Skewy Cat. 7 for Ponder. 6 for Satless. GSV got 7. Middle-aged gamer guy 6. 10 out of 10 for iQuail. So we've got one winner. 5 for Danker. Bruce got 9. 9 for the Tiny Devil Game. So close. Prof 5. Well done. Philip Hoy. Well done, dude. John 6. And Skewy. I think iQuail is going to take it. Had to get that right. You did have to get that right, says Phil Hoy, referring to the last question, which is about PlayStation. Of course, that's because he fronts a brilliant podcast, which you should all check out, called In PS We Trust. I've been a guest on it twice. Is that right? Twice? 5 out of 10 for Janet. Well done, Janet. Yeah. See, Danker almost put Commodore. That was the spanner in the works that I intended it to be. But there we go. I do feel we have one winner this week, which is really interesting and very, very unusual. We don't often have just one winner on Where the Exploding Show, but tonight that's what we've got. And they go by the name of iQuail, ladies and gentlemen. Huge shout out to iQuail. Massive, massive respect. Pulling that off is quite something. Getting 10 out of 10 in this quiz is by no means easy. Guys, girls, great to see you this evening. It's been absolutely brilliant. I've absolutely loved it. GG's indeed. W's in chat. I hope you have an amazing week. I'm doing more Gadget Show podcasts tomorrow morning, actually. The Gadget Show podcast continues. You can find it on Spotify and YouTube. Just put in the Gadget Show podcast and you'll find it. We'll be talking about all kinds of cool things. I believe in this new episode, which should be out in a week or so, we'll be talking about the Spectrum. But you know, you were there when I unboxed it. You saw me pull the tape and almost cut my fingers off unboxing it. So you know that you were the first to experience it. And I've really enjoyed having you along. So have a great week. I'll be back same place, same time for more Way of the Exploding Show shenanigans. Same place, same time, 9 p.m. next Sunday. Have an amazing week, guys. See you later. Bye.